Welcome everybody. Saturday morning yoga with David. We'll get started here. A couple minutes. Start to settle in. If you have a mat, you can lay it lengthwise. If you don't have a mat, you can use the floor, the ground. You can be outside, on your deck, on a beach. You can really do yoga anywhere. It's one of the beautiful things about yoga is you don't need much. You just need some athletic clothing. Typically practice barefoot. Another benefit of yoga, give your feet a workout. Once you get settled in, we are going to start down on the mat today. We're going to start in child's pose, balasana. So if you want to start working your way down to the ground, to your mat, so balasana, child's pose, quite often you'll see it done with arms reached overhead. But really, that's extended child's pose or Utthita Balasana. So as you settle in, you can have your knees wide, hip distance apart. It's really kind of personal preference. You want your tailbone to be settling back towards your heels. And you bring your forehead down to your mat. Once again, quite often you'll see people with arms outstretched, but you can have them back for support. Some people have them back along their legs, maybe reaching for their feet. It's kind of personal preference. Brings me to an important point about yoga. Our anatomies are all different, and we want to find the pose that works the best for us. And so we'll take balasana, for example, child's pose. I like my hands right here to give me some support, and then allow me to have my tailbone melt down towards my heels. Other people, like I said, would have their arms back, might have their arms reaching. And that's the same with many poses. You want to find the position that works best for you. Once you settle in here, start to breathe in and out your nose with your lips sealed and your teeth separated. This breathing in yoga is called pranayama. In child's pose, you should be able to hear your breathing. It's like an echo chamber. Breathing, when you bring your focus to it, becomes deeper and more rhythmic. As we go through the practice, you'll energize with a deep rhythmic breath called Ujjayi Pranayama, an energizing breath. Here in child's pose, as you breathe, begin to engage your core. Use your abdominal muscles as you inhale and exhale. Pull in the belly button on an exhale. Expand on an inhale. Those abdominal muscles are a bandha called Uddiyana Bandha. As you breathe deeply, you feel your pelvic floor pull in. Use that pelvic floor to expel the air on an exhale. That's Mula Bandha. You want these bandhas to be active along with your deep rhythmic breathing. Hold here in balasana and practice pranayama with active bandhas. You're practicing yoga. From here, work your way up through a tabletop position into a kneeling plank. So your hands are under your shoulders, Knees and feet are hip distance apart. And you're straight from the top of your head, the crown of your head, right to your knees. Practice breathing pranayama, Ujjayi pranayama, deep and rhythmic, energizing. Using those bandhas, your core, to find integrity in this pose. Feel your arms engage, even your neck holding your head up is engaged. On an exhale, sit back. And then on an inhale, find that kneeling plank. Continue to flow. Exhale back. Inhale forward. This movement with breath. There's a style of yoga called vinyasa. Optimally, you synchronize with your breathing. We all breathe at a different pace. Yoga is a strange fitness class that we don't necessarily move in unison or to the beat of music. You want to find that pace of your breathing. You want to add on here from that kneeling plank, just bend your elbows. Inhale back up and push back. Just add into the flow a little bit. Continue concentrating on synchronizing with your breathing. Synchronize your breathing with those bandhas, using your core as part of the inhale and exhale. You want to go even further, come to a full plank, bend your elbows, come back up. But we're just warming up. All right. One more in each direction. And reset in a tabletop position, hands under shoulder. Knees hip distance apart, neutral back. From here, bring your gaze forward, tip your tailbone up behind you, and put a sway in your back. This is actually a modified upward facing dog, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. The gaze forward's the easy part. Tipping the tailbone up behind you with a sway in your back. It's your concentration. You can feel those bandhas engage, helping. Breathing is smooth and rhythmic. Allow that sway to deepen. These back bends are important. They're good for the spine. It's said that you should do a back bend like this every day. Your spine gets so used to rounding forward. Counter pose is an angry cat. Push your vertebrae into your shirt, your spine into your shirt. There's actually another bandha. If you tuck your chin, look back at your belly button, that's Jalandhara. If you engage Jalandhara, Mula, Uddiyana, all three, it's called the Mahabandha, the mother bond. There's much integrity in this angry cat as you can have. Even with all those three bandhas locked, breathe smoothly and deeply, Ujjayi pranayama. It's a classic vinyasa flow. On an inhale, bring your gaze forward, tip your tailbone up. Exhale, arch your back. Move at the pace of your breathing. So simple, just inhale and exhale. Imagine your spine moving one vertebrae at a time. It's said that a healthy spine will move fluidly in both directions. Feel how the pace of your breathing, such a comfortable pace, it's the right pace for you. You always have your breath. You can check in with it at any time. People under stress, breath becomes shallow and short, high in the chest. As soon as you bring your focus to your breathing, it immediately gets deeper, smoother, and more rhythmic. One more in each direction. And reset in tabletop. From here, reach your right arm straight out over your head and counterbalance with your left leg straight back, bent at the heel like you're standing on the wall behind your hips, level over the mat. The body is stronger than the mind. Concentrate on breathing deeply. Ujjayi pranayama. Bandhas locked. Working those fundamentals. And exhale, reset into tabletop. Go to the other side. Left arm, right leg, bent at the heel. You're standing on the wall behind you. Concentrate on your breathing. Feel that Ujjayi pranayama energize your entire body. Reset in tabletop and begin to flow side to side. Inhale as you reach and counterbalance. Exhale, reset. Inhale, go to the other side. One movement, one breath. Classic vinyasa at the pace of your breathing. Concentrating on moving. Those bandhas engaged. Uddiyana, feel your abdominal muscles helping you move smoothly. Mula bandha, the pelvic floor, draws up, remains engaged. Feel the glute muscle firing. Today, we're going to be doing quite a few back bends. We're already warmed up a little bit. And everybody to focus on their range of motion. Your body is always talking to you. You need to listen. We do that through concentrating on the pose. As we go through these back bends, you'll find your range of motion. There's no perfect pose. There's only the right pose for you. It's not a competition. We'll all look different. All right. One more to each side. Reset. Tabletop. Your hands planted, your shoulders. Point your right toes straight back and then bend at the knees so those right toes are pointed up towards the ceiling, the tiger's tail, if you will. You feel your back muscles engaged, little back bend. From here, if you want to go a little further, you can reach back with the left hand for the right foot. Might find it, it might not. Just takes a little stability away. If it does find your foot, you can put pressure into your left hand. Allow this left shoulder to open. It's a kneeling half bow. The left arm is the string on the bow. Put as much tension into that left arm as you'd like. Gently release, reset, and tabletop. From here, point the left toes back and then bend at the knee. Find that tiger's tail. Engage the glute muscle. Feel the back engage. Make sure it feels right. Want to go further? You can reach this right hand back. Let this right shoulder open, reaching for that left foot. You might find it, you might not. If you do, let this left shoulder open a little more, put pressure. The right shoulder, put pressure into the right hand. Feel that string on the bow, that right arm. It's tension. Dynamic tension gives you stability in this pose. Gently release. And then find a shallow child's pose. Just let your hips drop back towards your heels. Forehead comes down to the mat. Just explore how your back is feeling right now. Make sure you're operating within your range of motion. The optimal point, the edge, if you will. It's where you find your greatest gains. All right, come on up to kneeling. Straight ahead. Hips, shoulders square to the front. All right, from here, extend your right leg straight out to the side. Left hand is down, right hand reaches for the sky. This is a kneeling side plank. You feel the muscles all along the right side engaging. On an inhale, lift the right leg up, and on an exhale, touch the ground. Inhale up, exhale down. Having your arm reaching for the sky is too much, you can put it on your hip. Give it a little rest. In a typical day, we don't move in a lateral direction, but it's important to do so. These leg lifts, good for the hip, building strength, flexibility, endurance. It's also good for the brain-body integration, to move in a way that's not typical for us. One more on this side, one more lift. Then plant that foot, bring the arm down, push yourself up. The right foot planted. Imagine this right ear coming down towards your right leg. Reach this right hand for the right foot, and then inhale. Left hand high, building resistance all along the left side. Push into it. Another hidden secret of yoga, we use the muscles in both directions, contraction and flexion. So as we're extending all those muscles along the left side, we're building muscle in a healthy way. Feels like stretching, but you can feel how all those muscles along the left side are engaged. You can stay here. If you'd like to pursue a fallen star, you can plant this left hand, reach the right hand high, and then slide that left leg forward, straighten it out, pushing the hips high, and then reach back. With the right arm. It's a beautiful pose. If it's too much, just stay in that kneeling side plank. Continue to breathe deeply and smoothly. Draw the knee back in, reset. A kneeling position. Explore the other side. Extend the left leg out. Plant the right hand. Reach the left hand for the sky. A kneeling side plank. And then lift and lower here at the pace of your breathing. Inhale up. Exhale down. Knowing the benefit you're giving your hip, your lower back, your entire body. Building strength, flexibility, endurance in the hip. This lateral movement, building the brain-body integration. Feel those bandhas engaging. Feel your range of motion. It's different for everybody. And if your foot barely comes off the ground, it's healthy, benefiting you. One more here. Plant the left foot as you push yourself up. Imagine this left ear coming down towards the left leg as you reach this left hand for the left foot. And inhale, right hand high, reaching for the sky, building that resistance all along the right side. Parigasana, gate pose. Appreciate the muscle you're building all along that right side. Push into it. I always think of weightlifting like a contraction, like a bicep curl. That's why yogis look good. It's because we use the muscles through such a wide range, such healthy ways. To find that fallen star, plant this right hand, reach high with the left hand, get this left foot planted as you straighten. Right leg, both legs straight, pushing hips high, reaching back with this left arm. If it's too much, just stay in that kneeling side plank. And exhale. Come back. A kneeling position, hips and shoulders square to the front. Classically, this next sequence is done with the feet flat behind you. You can tuck the toes as well, bring the heels a little higher. It's a little bit of personal preference. From here, as you inhale, your right hand reaching high, as bandhas engage, as you reach your left hand for your left heel. It's just a target, not a goal. You might find it, it might not. This half camel. Listen to your body. Make sure you're finding the edge of your range of motion and dwelling there. And you exhale to reset. Inhale, the left hand high. Right hand reaches for the right heel. It's a target, not a goal. Listen to your body. Exhale as you come out. Begin to flow side to side. You inhale as you reach in opposite directions. Exhale as you come out. Inhale, go to the other side. Feel that range of motion. Some people might have a full camel in their practice. If you do, both hands target the heels. You allow the head to drop behind, look behind you. But I caution you, these half camels going side to side. Really quite intense. Gives you the effect you're looking for. One more to each side. As you exhale, Turn and find shallow child's pose. Just check in with your back. Make sure you're operating within your range of motion, a range that's right for you. From here, find a full plank, your hands under shoulders, feet hip distance apart, flat from the top of your head right to your knees, or right to your heels. If you need to modify, you can drop to your knees. Just make sure you're flat from your head to your knees, flatten your feet. Or, if you want to come down to your elbows, you can do that as well. I'll be here for 1 minute. Plank has been deemed one of the most beneficial exercises for the human body. Just holding here, flat as a board. All your muscles are engaged. Concentrate on breathing as deeply and smoothly as you can. Ujjayi pranayama, energizing your entire body. Feel all your muscles engaged. 10 more seconds. You got this, athletes. 5 more seconds. Plank is the perfect spacing for down dog. Push your hips high. Let your heels drop. Chest drops between your shoulders. You can pedal your heels if you'd like. Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Let both heels drop down towards the mat. Bring your gaze forward. Step between your hands and look forward. This is a half lift. Exhale into a forward fold and round up one vertebrae at a time. You can sweep your arms high, hands together through heart center in appreciation. All of that practice we did down on the mat. We're going to go through Surya Namaskara, end to end on our mat. Begin with your feet hip distance apart, chin level with the floor, shoulders back and down. Tadasana, mountain pose. You should feel grounded, confident. Little forward lean into the balls of your feet. And we'll begin to move. Inhale as you reach high. Then exhale back to that forward fold. Inhale looking forward in that half lift. And now as you exhale and plant your hands, step your right foot back, followed by your left foot, with your hips high and downward facing dog. Inhale to a full plank. Give you a couple options here. The first one, as you exhale, drop to your knees, flatten your feet, and then bring your gaze up. It's a modified upward facing dog. Otherwise, from this full plank, more typically you exhale, bending your elbows, hovering over the mat in Chaturanga Dandasana. Flip your feet flat as you straighten your arms. Shine your heart as you bring your gaze forward. And Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, upward facing dog. All of us tuck our toes, push our hips high, and meet together in downward facing dog. From here, lift your left leg high behind you in a single leg down dog. And on an exhale, gently step that left foot forward to a low lunge. Keep the right hand down. Inhale, the left hand high, gaze follows as you revolve this pose. As you exhale, hands plant. Right foot steps forward next to left foot in a forward fold. And then you inhale, sitting low with hands high in Utkatasana, chair pose. And then exhale, Tadasana, mountain pose. Inhale as you step your left foot across in a 5-pointed star. And on an exhale, immediately find forward fold at the other end of your mat. And we'll continue with Surya Namaskar, sun salutations. Inhale with a flat back. Exhale, plant your hands. Step right foot followed by left foot with hips high. Inhale, plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. On an inhale, lift your right leg high behind you. Exhale, step that foot forward to a low lunge. Help it if you need to. Inhale, reach the right hand for the sky. Exhale, forward fold as the left foot steps forward. Inhale, hands reach high, sitting low in Utkatasana. Exhale, Tadasana. Inhale and step your right foot across in a 5-pointed star and immediately find forward fold at the other end. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left leg high. Step through to that low lunge. Inhale as you revolve this pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair. Exhale, mountain. Inhale as you step across your mat. Exhale, forward fold. Continue to flow. Synchronize with your breathing. One more. Cross your mat. Eventually, we'll all meet together. Mountain pose. Beautiful. All right. Done half bow kneeling. Now we're going to do a half bow standing, a dancer pose. I'll turn at an angle a little bit. Start simple enough. Bend at the knee and capture your left foot with your left hand. Bring your knees together. It helps square the hips to the front. This is a lot right here. You can feel that pressure in the left arm. String on the bow. It's already begun. Want to go a little deeper? You can bring the hand around your toes. Grab your instep, the hitchhiker thumb. Opens the shoulder a little more. Allow this left shoulder to open, but keep the hips square to the front through this entire pose. Tendency is to open the hips. You want to keep them square. Reach this right arm to counterbalance as you put pressure to your left hand, and the left knee rises straight behind you. Standing half bow dancer pose. Left arm is the string on the bow. You feel that dynamic tension, giving you stability in the pose. If you fall out, get right back in. Build resilience here in the yoga studio, the yoga practice. To come out, bring your knees back together to touch, and gently release in the mountain pose. Go to the other side. Start simple enough. Just capture the right foot with the right hand. Bring the knees together to square the hips. The brain takes a little while to switch sides. So you can feel a little instability. Just focus on your breathing. Focus on keeping those bandhas engaged and active. Bring your hand around the top of your toes. Find that hitchhiker thumb under the ball of your foot. Reach this left arm to counterbalance. As you put pressure into the right foot, right knee rises straight behind you. See people doing this pose on Split Rock Lighthouse, on mountain posts. It's a beautiful pose. Breathe deeply and smoothly. Feel that breath energize your entire body. To come out of this pose, once again, just bring your knees together. Gently release into mountain pose. Lovely. All right. We're going to come down to the mat on your stomach in a prone position. Once you're here, have your hands gently out in front of you. Your legs come together. Heels are touching, knees are touching. Find Uddiyana Bandha. Pull in your belly button, engage your abdominal muscles. Engage complementary Bandha Mula. Pull up your pelvic floor. Engage your glute muscles, all your leg muscles. Bring them together so tight they lift up off the mat. You feel how related your core is with your leg muscles. Once you have all those muscles engaged, you can now explore lifting your hands, bringing your gaze up your chest a little higher. Keep concentrating on breathing deeply and smoothly. Keep your leg muscles and those bandhas locked. Feel how much integrity you have in this pose, protecting your back. As you exhale, just turn your head to the side, take a little break. Your feet about hip distance apart. Your gaze up. Your hands are loosely out in front of you. From here, bend the right leg, so the right toes pointed up towards the ceiling, that tiger's tail again. From here, you can engage right leg a little more, and the right leg can lift up off the mat. Want to go a little further? You can reach back with this right hand, target the right foot, this right shoulder open. If you find your ankle, you can put pressure to the right hand, create that string on the bow, your right arm. Right thigh lifts up off the mat. Concentrate on your breathing. Smooth and rhythmic. Gently release. Reset both hands, both legs. Straight. Explore the other side. Bend the left leg at the knee, putting those left toes up at the ceiling. Gauge all the bandhas. Lift that thigh up off the mat. Feel how related back muscles are with the core, leg muscles. Want to go further? You can reach this left hand. Maybe it finds the left ankle. Put some pressure into the left hand. The thigh lifts up off the mat. If you have full bow in your practice, you can reach this right hand back for the right ankle, bent at the knee, but it's pretty intense. Just these half bows. You can feel how intense this is. Doing half bows keeps the knees and hips aligned. Very gently release and push back into a shallow child's pose. Explore how your back is feeling right now. Have your knees wide. Big toes are touching. As you come forward, extend your hands out front. Bring your feet up, bent at the knee, and your gaze forward, putting that sway in your back like your feet are coming to the back of your head. Your heels might come together as well. As you push back, roll right inside your kneecap. There's a flat spot. On your knees, drop your feet. Your head can touch the mat. And come forward again. Be diligent in the movement. You can move at the pace of your breathing if you'd like. Just exhale back. Inhale as you come forward. It's hard on your knees. You can find the kneeling plank. The down dog flow we did earlier. We did a lot of back work today. Done properly. Explored the range of your spine. One more in each direction. Classically, we finish on our backs in Shavasana, and you're welcome to do that. Or join me in Viparita Karani, legs up the wall. You can also have your legs up on a chair, on an ottoman, really anything to support your legs. Bring your tailbone close to the wall, legs straight up. If having your tailbone right against the wall is too much, just bring it away. Get a little bit of an angle. Arms can be wide. Just make sure your shoulder blades are flat. Allow your breathing to return to normal, natural. Your concentration comes to your breathing. Simply observing your body breathing on its own. Let gravity take over, work its magic, pull you down into the ground. Relieve your legs. As you concentrate on your breathing, at first it might feel like you're manipulating your breath. But just concentrate on it. Your body knows what to do. Breathes on its own 24 hours a day. Let it. Any thoughts that enter your mind, simply let them pass by bringing your focus back to observing, watching your body breathe on its own. welcome to stay here as long as you'd like. You're in your own private space. Otherwise, classically, draw your knees in towards your chest. And then roll through the right side of a fetal position. Keeps your heart on the left side lifted. Signifies the rebirth of your practice. And eventually we'll meet together in a seated posture. This practice, done quite a bit from the mat, should feel grounded. Did quite a bit of back work exploring the range of motion of our spine, quite a few back bends and these half bows. Should not only enlighten you to the range of motion of your back, but also expand that range of motion. And like all yoga practices, it's a form of meditation. It takes you deep within yourself. Final pose imprints the practice. And as you emerge, you reset your mind, your body, your spirit. You're more content, you're happier than when you began. And you get to take that with you. A gift you can enjoy the rest of the day. Bring your hands to heart center. The light in me honors the light in you, my friends. Namaste. Once again, my name's David. Hope to see you again